Ever sanded right through your veneer? It happens. In this video, I'm showing you how I repair damage like this using a full system of color matching and sealing. Before doing any repairs, I applied a custom stain mix using 2 different Fusion Stain and Finishing Oil colors. Applying the stain helps me see the color I need to match and gives a clean working base. I let the stain sit for about 10 minutes and then wiped it all back. After it had dried, I got started on the repairs. Let's look at the products I'm using for the repairs. I've got a touch-up marker, I've got the walnut toner, I've got a sanding sealer, and I've got my Blendal sticks. Let's start the repairs on the side of the door, a less conspicuous spot. I'm starting with the sanding sealer. Once that dries, I'm going back in with some Blendal sticks. So I'm searching for a color that's similar in tone to the base wood color. Switching colors as necessary to get that wood look and match the tone. Now, after getting the color I wanted, I went in with the walnut toner to blend it all in nicely. Shake it up really well before you use it. Feeling confident with that, I moved into the drawer repair. This was the worst one. Again, starting with a color of the Blendal stick that's similar to your base color. I like to smudge it a little bit with my finger. Go right along the edge. If you've done a few layers or a couple of different colors, it's a good idea to put the sanding sealer in between them. And then once it's dry, it doesn't take very long, you can go back in with more Blendal sticks. I'm trying to quickly show which colors I'm using here, but what I'll do is in the description, I'll make sure that I include all of the products that I'm using for Blendal, for the sanding sealer, for the walnut toner. You'll have everything, and it'll give you a pretty good idea of what you need. I really like the multi-set because I never quite know what color I want. I can tell, though, that I often go back and use some pretty similar colors because a lot of woods that I do are in this sort of teak walnut tone. Now that I've done the Blendal sticks and I've got it looking how I want, I go back in with the walnut toner and make it a nice seamless finish. So the repairs on the door and the drawers were pretty straightforward. Let's go now to the side and top of the sideboard. I feel more confident now. I know what colors I'm using. I've got the process down. So I'm going to tackle the areas that are a little bit more obvious and a little bit more challenging. Like this area that I sanded through at the start. With all of these repairs done, it is now time to top coat. I'm going back to my natural stain and finishing oil by Fusion. Didn't need to leave it on as long, and then wiped it all back. Most of the spots were good, but even with all of that diligence, there were still a few places, like on the corners here, where after I wiped back the stain, you could see it. So I went back in with a touch-up marker in walnut, and then top coated that with the Mohawk Perfect Blend sealer. I hope this took some of the mystery and concern out of how to deal with damaged veneer. Sand-throughs and chips aren't ideal, but with the right products, a solid process, a little bit of patience, they can be blended in really well. If you found this useful, let me know in the comments, and you can find more tutorials and full transformations here on my channel.